Let's face it, you're procrastinating right now. However, if there is one piece of content, one video with all the tips and tricks, one guide, the holy grail productivity, this is it. This is how to be really productive in under 10 minutes. Let's get it. Because let's face it, self-care is not a bubble bath and not going on for a walk and spoiling yourself and getting takeout food. Self-care is doing things quickly and efficiently so you have more time to do the things that you love. Spend time with your loved ones. We are splitting these up into 3 different categories. 1 is visibility, 2 is progress, and 3 is flow. Why, you ask? Why visibility? Because it is literally life-changing. Our brains cannot comprehend how many things we need to do, and we need to see those things on paper. So if you're gonna quit your to-do list because you simply can't have booking your dentist appointment and getting in that report done all under the same list. So you need to have a metric, which in this case is time. So what you can do is split things off between a items list and a quick tasks list. That way you know things for real items that take you over half an hour, take you an hour, 2 hours. Those things are on one list, and then those quick easy things that you can get things done in under 10 minutes, like book that appointment, call your insurance, whatever you need to do, you can get done in a quick manner. And please do yourself a favor and write every single item and task you need to do. Whether that's something big or something small, write it down. Do yourself a favor and have this whole brain dump just split up into different categories. You can even have 3. Super long things, medium length, and then super short things under 10 minutes. And now that you see the amount of things you need to do in the sheer volume of work, you're gonna schedule those things and time block into your calendar. So everything has a space to get done. And if that means it will take you more than a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, at least you know what needs to get done and you're less stressed out. Because I find the more overwhelmed I feel, it's usually because I don't know what I need to do and I lack clarity. So please gain clarity as much as possible. And here, the really important thing, the magic formula is do not write any big task. Please refrain yourself from writing, clean my house, write my essay. That will get you nowhere. That is the worst way to do it, because then you're gonna set yourself up for failure. You have no idea how much time it will take you. You have no idea how many little things you need to do in between. So what I do is I break things up. This is literally my magic formula. I break things up into smaller chunks. So if that means I need to clean my house, I'm gonna write down all the small items I need to do in order to clean my house. Does that mean clean my bathroom? Does that mean wash my carpet? Whatever that entails in, I need to get that done. So I'm scheduling small tasks. The best thing is to get as granular as possible. Get super specific. Do not spend your time just writing like vague titles. When you're gonna see the thing on your agenda, you're gonna be like, I have no idea what to do. And guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna end up doing the same thing. You're gonna start off by doing one small task and you'll be like, well, that's great for now. So get as specific and as micro as possible. That's gonna help you gain clarity as much as possible. And for some of us, that despite scheduling in the calendar might seem like a great strategy, that doesn't always work. So what I found that works for me very well is to set a timer for myself. So I know I'm supposed to be doing this right now at this time for this amount of time. Usually the concept of time literally escapes me and I start doing something and it'll take me 3 hours instead of half an hour. So what I do is, please do yourself a favor and take a timer and set it on your phone. What I do is I literally take my phone, take my timer and set it. All it does is, the reason why I love it is because it brings awareness to the concept of time. Sometimes the concept of time seems pretty vague. You're like, this can take me 10 minutes, it takes you half an hour. So setting that timer really puts a metric and you're focused on that. Okay, speaking of bringing awareness, the second thing you need to bring awareness to that works very well for me is tracking your screen time, for 2 reasons here. 1, The more time we spend on our phones, the more cloudy and the less clarity we have. And 2, it really brings awareness to the amount of sheer time that we waste on our phones. So you're not just gonna look at it and just feel embarrassed about it. You're gonna look at it and you're gonna take a piece of paper and you're gonna write it down for the next 21 days. That will literally help you bring awareness to how much time you're spending, and you're gonna consciously know every time you're picking up your phone that that time is adding up. So that's my call to action. Take a piece of paper and track the amount of time you're spending on your phone. Every night before you go to bed, write that number down. And don't be embarrassed, because we all spend so much time on our phones. Late has changed a bit, but that doesn't change that pillar number 2 is progress. So, as clearly stated by James Clear in the Atomic Habits book, so it's the small changes that make the biggest difference, and it's the consistency that drives that exponential growth. So it's not even just about the consistency. It's about setting yourself up for success by setting up those systems. So, for example, let's say you want to take your vitamins. Don't just go around and take one vitamin here and there just in the morning. You need to set up a system. So what I like to do, for example, is just having your little container with every day categorized and having your vitamins ready. But then again, keep it stupid simple. Don't try to overcomplicate things. Don't set up 18 habits for one day and you know how there's those journals where they ask you about how much food have you had, how much water, when did the sun rise, sunset, none of those. Keep it stupid simple. So what I like to do is I'll pick a category. For example, health, productivity, finances. Those are the 3 main ones that I care the most about. So find the things that you care the most about and then pick one thing to improve on. Progress is the most important, and the only competition you have is yourself. So once you see that those daily improvements, once you set up those small daily habits and you track them, you're gonna be better able, you're gonna feel more empowered, and you're gonna want to move towards your goal. So, for example, for health, a lot of people like to keep up with the 21 days to stick with a habit. No, what I like to do is, let's say I pick one thing, but I master it. So that means, for example, let's say I pick something that the 80-20 rule, something that'll bring me the most efficient results. So let's say in terms of health, I'll pick working out 4 times a week. So don't just do that for 21 days. Do that for double the time, for 42 days. Do that for 6 weeks straight. That way you know you have mastered that habit. And then, for example, another thing for productivity, what I love to do is anytime I am starting a task that I think I know how long it takes, I track that, because it usually takes probably a time and a half than I think that it takes. So always tracking those habits. And then once you have those, then from there, you're able to set your non-negotiables. So 3 to 5 things that you know you can achieve every day and you'll feel proud of yourself. That way you can grow and you can increase that confidence muscle. And that way you build that confidence muscle every single time. So set realistic goals and choose one thing to stick to it, and just be stupid simple. Choose one thing, stick to it, and move on. Okay, so once you have that visibility in your calendar, you can actually see it. You can track your progress. This is where time blocking and the state of flow comes into play. This yields the maximum amount of productive energy and effort that you have to get the most done. The state of flow, which is so important. So realistically speaking, you probably have around 4 to 5 sessions of 40 to 50 minutes that you can do in the state of flow. So why is it important to get into the state of flow? So the state of flow is super key to getting those high ticket items done, getting those checked off and moving on. So you need more than 20 minutes to focus, look at something, get immersed into it, and getting it done. So your brain always shifts from those lower brain power activities to higher. But every time you get distracted, you see a notification, you try to multitask, your brain is not in the state of flow. So the best way to get into that state of flow is to turn off your notifications. Literally, what I do, be radical. Delete the app and move on with your life. that, I use that all the time. Or you can use like these these productivity apps like Forest, where you grow a tree while if you touch your phone, you have to restart. It's a great app. You can use it. I've used it a bit, not too much, but there's so many apps because every time you pull away from your phone, you're literally not focused. It will take you around 26 minutes to get back and getting focused back into the same task. And that just, you lose all the momentum, and just that state of flow is not optimized. And this is why time blocking is so freaking important, especially in your work environment. Checking your emails 85,000 times a day, probably multiple times, let's face it, multiple times within 1 hour, is so counterproductive. I know it feels like it's productive, you're on top of things, you're getting things done, but the meaningful work that you need to get done at the end of the day is not getting done. It's taking you double or triple the amount of time that you actually need. And when you can just get things done, move on, check your email. If it's something incredibly important, you can check your email maybe once an hour or in the morning, in the evening, and that is it. And you know how to increase and maximize those states of flow and those sessions of flow? Taking breaks. I know it seems so counterintuitive, and I'm the first one on to do this, but take your breaks. Your brain needs a break. I know it's crazy, but it's true. And you need to take your mind completely off what you're doing, like going for a walk, reading a book. I'm really hard at doing this, and I tend to always think, oh, I can just continue. But no, the quality of your work will decrease if you don't take a break. So please take that break, do yourself a favor, and move on. All right, to wrap this up, one is visibility. Maintain your calendars open. Please don't make those to-do lists, make those priorities lists. Split things into different categories of items you can do right away versus tasks that take longer. Then make sure that you track things, and progress is the most important thing. Just keep moving. And then finally, to yield maximum efficiency, please just get into those states of flow. That's what really helps to get the most deep work done. And there's a great book by Cal something called Deep Work. Highly recommend that you listen to it, and how distracted of a society we are and how to improve things for ourselves. So that is it. Please let me know what is the best tip that has helped you get more things done without getting overwhelmed, of course. And if any of these tips help you, please like the video below and subscribe to this channel. It really helps. And see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon. Bye.